choose.
I see. So, and how old are you right now?
I am approximately 34 of your, you would think of it, Earth years.
Hey, great.
And
You're about the same age.
approximately one of your years, I may not be 35, from the context of, if you were to speak to me 1 year from now, I may be connecting and communicating to you from a different age, a different timeline. Whatever timeline would be most appropriate for our communication, our interaction, would then determine what age I would be at in that communication at that timing. It may be 35 1 year from now if we were to do this again in 1 year, but it may be 30, it may be 20, it may be 130.
What makes you choose a particular timeline instead of another?
It is something that is, in a sense, chosen by the circumstances of the interaction, of the event, of the timing, of the consciousnesses of those in the interaction itself. What would be most appropriate on a higher level is understood, and in that understanding, which then age would be most beneficial for the interaction, the communication that will take place, that would be most appropriate to take place, it is in a sense automatically chosen. It is part of the omniscient infinite universe's knowingness which and what age to draw from, to connect to in that sense. In that context, understand, it isn't as if I am thinking before I meet you, what age should I be communicating to you from? I don't have to do that. That is more mental, I would define, more analytical perhaps. It is something that occurs more from a simple heart connection, from the omniscient, resonant knowingness of the infinite. What would be most appropriate in that timing, most conducive to having the most informative transference of communication to take place. And understand that age that I come to you from can change even in this communication. If it seems that the information would be more beneficial for me to come at it from a different age, a different timeline, perhaps on that other timeline I am more connected to a frequency of information that would be more useful for you, more at a informational, vibrational, heartfelt frequency rate, then I will make the shift. Again, it will occur almost automatically. There will be a slight moment where I understand it is occurring, but I know why it is occurring, so I do not hold back, I do not block, I do not hinder the transference, the adjustment, the change. It occurs very quickly. Thus then, perhaps you listening would not even notice if in this answer itself I have changed from the age I gave you to another and back again.
It seems that your physical reality is more, in that sense, malleable than ours.
It is, because our understanding of the existence is more in alignment with the actual nature of existence, which is infinitely flexible in that sense. When you are experiencing the infinite from that frequency, when you are tuned into that frequency, the knowingness that it is of infinite flexibility allows you to then thus tune in and experience it from that level. Again, your civilization has chosen to explore the ideas of limitation and separation to such a degree that you have beliefs that have to be very rigid, very fixed, not as flexible, in order to maintain the perception, the illusion of separation, the illusion that you are the only life form of intelligence in all existence. Because you see, if you're more tuned into the flexibility of definitions that are in alignment with the actual nature of existence, you could say you are limited, you could say you are the only life forms, but then instantly another belief, another understanding, another reality would come in that would remind you, inform you, reveal to you, show you, tune you into a reality in which you are obviously interacting with life forms from other planets. And thus then the idea of being separate and the only life form would be instantly washed away. Instantly. And thus then you would simply, oh, okay, well, I guess I am part of the infinite. So the idea to have the illusion of being separate and limited, you can't access these vast, unlimited flexibility of the actual nature of existence. So that is something we and you, understanding, you want to let go of and be more able to connect to more of the infinite, more flexible definition components within your awareness as an individual and as a whole society. And in that reality, when you as a whole collective society are at that place, you will find the idea of ages to be more flexible. And it will be easier for you to get younger, to find, in a sense, the fountain of youth, to recognize you are the fountain and you can focus on the age you most prefer. And in that way, the fountain of youth flows through you from your own choosing of what time, what age to tune into and experience. In that way, you become the magic waters. Your ability to define yourself in this way, more in alignment with the actual nature of existence, is, in that sense, the magic, the mystical waters that then flow through you, transform you into a dimensional frequency in which you can truly focus and feel and be that young one again. Be the youth from which the fountain of the infinite flows from. Yes, thank you.
Right, but when it comes to the physical, say you are 34 now and you tune into the frequency of 15, that doesn't mean your body will change as well, right? It's just your thought pattern and the way you interpret reality.
The body can adjust in the sense that I tune into the dimension where the 15-year-old me exists in that way.
I see. Then you...
It would be, in a sense, as an analogy, like changing your channel or your TV from the golf channel to the football channel. They both exist simultaneously. You just change the channel of the one you are tuned into. I at 34 and I at 15 exist. Two channels. Right now I am simply choosing to tune into the channel that's 32 and 34. That's showing the golf. And I can simply change the channel and tune into the one in which I am a physical embodiment of 15. In a sense, the football channel.
I see. So are you aware that once you get to be here with us on Earth, you will have to have the discipline to remain in a particular channel for longer than you usually do, perhaps?
Well, understand that the idea of how fluid we can be is one of the areas that your consciousness as an individual and as a collective needs to raise higher to be able to handle that we could instantly transform our form from 34 to 15 before your very eyes, and to do so in a way that wouldn't cause you to, in a sense, malfunction, or in that sense to pass out, to faint in that sense, to feel frightened of. So it is something that we understand. We would be most beneficial to interact with you to maintain a particular set age, all the while knowing that our understanding could change to different age, and that understanding, that frequency of consciousness and knowingness could impact you as well. Even if we do hold the same physical age, our knowingness of how to, and that we can change to a different age, that frequency of that knowingness could be something that could impact one or many of you detrimentally. That is part of why we don't just suddenly appear in our crafts all of a sudden. It can be too much of a shock to the system of your earth human mental, psychological makeup at this current vibrational timing in your world.
Right, exactly. Just by you telling us those informations, I mean, we can already have a headache.
Very well.
Because
ache away.
It is too much.
Ache away until the ache is gone completely. And you know
Enjoy,
who
right.
you are, the infinite, unconditional love. Pain-free, no heartache and no headaches ever again for you.
And you also said before, when we start having beliefs that are more in alignment with our actual nature, how do we go about having those beliefs, and what are they exactly?
To define yourself as the infinite, to define yourself as the creator, to define yourself as the one that is the all, expressing yourself as a part of the all, but yet the one that is the all that are the one that is the all. Define yourself as that. And thus also define yourself as what you put out is what you get back. These are very simple definitions. They may not seem very important or potent or powerful, but they are. When you define yourself in these ways, you're defining yourself in alignment with your actual nature. And that will then vibrationally begin to bring up to the surface belief systems you have that are not in alignment with your actual nature, not in alignment with those definitions. And that gives you the opportunity to recognize them and to clear them out, to heal them back into the understanding that is in alignment with your actual nature. You are the infinite. You are unconditional love. You exist. You always have existed. You always will exist. For existence can only exist. That's the only quality that existence has, is to exist, to exist, to exist, to exist. That which does not exist by definition. It does not exist. Non-existence does not exist. You can create and talk about it as though it does, but it only exists as something that doesn't actually exist in the sense of what it actually is. Non-existence does not exist.
Wow.
You can create the concept of non-existence, but you cannot ever be non-existing. That which exists only knows how to exist. That which does not exist does not exist. And thus you, as someone who exists, cannot be that which does not exist, which would be non-existence. Therefore you exist, and you always will exist. You can change the way and the shape and the form and the patternings of how you experience existing. Through what you put out is what you get back. Third law of creation.